Welcome to the Women Inspire Aspire podcast. We have with us today Nandini talking about her life experiences so far. Hi Nandini, thank you for accepting my invite to appear in the podcast. How are you doing today?
Hello, Venkat. Thank you so much for the invite. I'm really happy to be part of this. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing good. Tell me a bit about how your day went, what you did today.
The day went really well. Today it was my son's second day at school, so I had to literally drag him out of the bed to go to school, and then the casual went for a walk because I'm wanting to concentrate on a little weight loss, followed by trying to eat little nutritious food. So trying to do a little bit of millet checkups and see which millet suits me well. I was reading it somewhere recently that there are multiple, like 9 kinds of millet, but whatever millet you choose, you should choose that millet for like 3 times in a day as your diet. So for 3 days, you should continue that millet and then go to the other one. So I wanted to see which millet suits me. So right now on Barnyard Millet, which is really doing an amazing work to substitute to my rice cravings.
That's wonderful. That's great to hear. I have also explored some amount of millet, try the dosas and idlis and all that with millets. But one thing I have heard about millets is that it's a heavy food and you need to match the calories with the physical activity because millets by themselves are very rich in calories. Let's move on and talk about yourself. I want to explore your childhood, the environments that you grew in. What are the value systems that you had in your childhood? What shaped you as a person? So, can you tell us about it?
My name is Durgesh Nandini. My parents named me Durgesh Nandini after them reading a book. Dad is an avid reader still now, and he loves to read. So there is a book by Bankim Chand Chatterjee, and the book is about a triangle love story about a goldsmith daughter falling in love with a poor boy, and she is Durgesh Nandini, and she tries to conquer everything and achieve over her desires and needs and to achieve to whatever she wants to. It's a beautiful story, and that is where my name comes from. So I think when they gave me the name, the power with the name instilled in, and as a child I had a very beautiful journey. I come from a very small village in Odisha, from Cuttack, which is obviously now, because of the Rath Yatra and things here about Odisha, is becoming famous and lot of Instagram posts around. But Odisha then was not known as such. Then my dad moved to Jharkhand, erstwhile Bihar then, and dad was working at Uranium Corporation of India Limited, again a government body. There, I was just 1.5 years old when my dad took me there. And till then, I think I was very immature, a little girl who had no idea what her mother tongue was, who didn't know what's happening around. So what she saw is all that she learned. I learned all the things that was local to me. So the first thing I learned was, obviously I had Bengali neighbors. I learned Bengali. My second neighbor was a Santhali, which is a local tribe of Jharkhand. So I learned the Santhali language. I was there in Jharkhand for about till my 12th grade. During childhood, it would be really fun when I meet Bengali person. I would interact in Bengali. I would speak to my parents in Odia. I would speak to my other friends in Hindi. I would again interact in Santhali with my other friends. So there was one incident that is very interesting. I mean, one fine day, my mom comes to me and tells me that if you don't speak properly to me in Odia and mix other languages along, I am not going to give you food. And I didn't know why she said that. But my mom actually, she got jealous that, her kids are learning everything else apart from their mother tongue. Then she made me understand that, we are from Orissa, we need to learn our mother tongue. She started instilling some things about Orissa, about the culture and everything. But because it was so much in Jharkhand, my schooling, my friends, everything, so I was completely localized. So I'm saying, as a person, I'm a very people centric person. I have always, from the childhood till now, I think I have always loved to be around people, to make more friends, to be the jovial, lively person. And that's what I am. That is something that shaped me to becoming what I am today. So from school days, drawn by the stories, people around, everything that you see around, I was so localized with those people. After a certain time, my mom was like, she's not my daughter because she's doing everything apart from what she's supposed to be doing. So mothers being mothers, I mean, because they want daughter to be like, come and do like a little puja at home, or come and do little other activity at home. Back then in 2000s, 2005 is when I passed out my 10th grade. So around 2000, she obviously was a person, she was like, you should learn few cooking skills and all of the other skills, like a little knitting, sewing, and all of that. But I was a very upfront person. I have been a person who would like to take up challenges even at school. I am not a person who could sing well, but I think I had taken that step at school, even to, because my friends had motivated me and they said I could do it. So they motivated me so well that I sang and I got a third prize in school. And I was so happy after that prize. And then I realized my voice was bad. So that is cutting the story short. So it's always the people in life that shape you so much, from your family to friends to your acquaintances to your colleagues, everything together. At 10th, everybody in my house, so I have an elder brother and a sister, they have done their science courses and they wanted to do science, is something which they related to. But I was very clear from the beginning, the only reason of my thought process was that I hated math, and I think I continue to hate that subject. The reason being that I hated my math teacher from my second standard till my 10th, and I thought the moment I pass my 10th grade, I won't have to study this subject. To top that, the irony of life is my own sister is a gold medalist in mathematics. So you want to run away from something, but it's actually sitting in your house. So while I literally want to go and shoo away all the teachers saying that please don't force me to do so, I have a person who is like a gold medalist scoring 100 out of 100. And that too, have you ever thought that somebody would deduct your marks for saying that your handwriting is bad? So they had deducted a half a mark, because they say at the university that you're not supposed to be getting 100 out of 100, doesn't look nice. So for that a half mark, she had cried whole day, and I was a person crying to get a 35 out of 100. So that with that comparison, I was still happy to get the 35 and pass off. As I told you earlier, that my dad reads a lot, so he introduced me to newspapers. And that was a time, even in newspapers and TV, you would always see Barkha Dutt. I mean, now the industry is changing, everything out there is different, but then Barkha Dutt was like my role model. Somewhere down the line, the only thing I wanted to become like Barkha Dutt sometime or the other. That is something which inspired me completely to study journalism, and I started hunting. And I thought, if I do science, that won't be the right fit, because I need to know a little bit of literature, see how the economics work and all of that. And that's something with polity, economics, and literature. I took up arts. That was again in the same school. And then my dad was like, where you want to go for your college and stuff. So we decided that I won't want to go to a Calcutta, because and then there used to be a lot of riots. And this is, I'm talking about around 2007. My dad said, not Calcutta. Suddenly, somewhere, I was reading through the newspaper and I found one random college from Bangalore. I picked up the newspaper and told my dad that, this looks to be a nice college. I would want to get admitted, do something about it. And my dad was pretty much clear. I called up, admission done. So that's when my journey to Bangalore started. And from then till now, forever, I think I'll become a Bangalore girl. I'm very proud that I have chosen Bangalore as a place. I call it like the karma bhumi, the place that has given me so much. I have learned, I have developed, I have grown as an individual. I have grown as in every sphere of my life, from personal to professional to making friends to learning about life. I mean, you say it, I have it, kind of a thing. I really, while I'm talking to you about it, I can see the girl who just came to Bangalore in 2007, who didn't know a word in Kannada, is now fluent in Kannada. I mean, language is one thing that completely motivates me to be and localize with anybody. That I didn't even realize when I was a child and I was speaking multiple languages. But it was very easy for me to learn a language and speak to any localite for that matter. So I think in about 6 7 months of duration, I had picked up the language. I had started having a little conversation with my vegetable vendor, with my local auto rickshaws. Obviously, there was a mistake, and then singing the song. So I think I really liked, or I still love the language. I mean, definitely, yes. Making stories, trying to say a little stories. And after completing my graduation, I thought, it's time to give a break. While during graduation also, I mean, I have done few different stints. So I have anchored at Forum Mall in Kormangla. I used to try and earn little pennies for me, because dad would send me a little amount saying that this is only your expenditure, and I always wanted to prove to myself what I wanted to do. So the idea of trying to do something of your own had inculcated me in me, and always trying to find out to what to do. So I started up taking up these small like single day activities where there would be like one MC talking and selling product and all of that. So I have done that, and I have gained good money. Then 2000 rupees was like really a happy pocket money, that you would get, and you would go and eat momos and feel happy and cheerful whole day. So those were days really lovely. I mean, I have a diary full of, so I used to write a lot of diary and include my every daily routine in that, because every day when you write, it makes you feel better about yourself. The moment, maybe when I'm talking to you, Venkat, I'm still getting goosebumps about the story that I have gone through. Rather, I mean, is it really me? Because now obviously things have changed after of all these years, right? And you become mature and you suddenly think, oh my god. So there was a time, I mean, if you would know of Bangalore also, that I have walked from Majestic once. I was doing some program at Garuda Mall, and I literally the client would pay me after maybe 5 days, and they would obviously bank transfer it. So those days obviously there was no phone pay, Google Pay, and all of that. So because obviously the client was running out of money, and the client said, if you want, you could keep a 500 rupees, I would transfer you. That was a good project. I had worked, like, I had MC'd at Brigade Road for about Garuda Mall for about 5 days that time for some Valentine Day special activity. So I was happy that the client was ready to give me 5,000, and I wanted to take that complete chunk of money at once. I didn't want it to break it. So the client said, you could take a 500 rupees from me now, and I'll transfer the rest 4,500 to your account. But then your self identity, your self pride, I was like, no, 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 it's okay. You can transfer it to me. I can manage by myself. I literally had like 15 rupees with me. So I took a bus from Garuda to Majestic. It charged me 12 rupees. And at Majestic, I didn't know which bus will, like, put me in. Now the government has other rules that, women get free travel access. That was not the case then. So I had to literally, I started walking around 8 o'clock at night from Majestic to Tumkur Road, which is, I mean, if you would have heard of Jalahalli and all of that,
Yeah,
eight,
it's quite
eight,
distant.
yeah, so 8 mile and all of that. I didn't know what roads to cross. So I just followed the bus route. So I went to Rajajinagar, headed to Malleshwaram. At 18th cross, I wanted to eat something. Then I was like, no, I don't have anything. So I drank water. And then I kept walking, walking, walking. Finally, I think when I had to take that right turn towards 8th mile, I was all done. But again, there was some courage then to do all of these. If you ask me, Nandini, can you do this now? I don't know. I mean, with thousands of people doing a marathon, also, I won't go. So it's all that time, all that energy that has, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's your perspective, but I feel as we age, our fear increases to do something.
Yeah, I agree because I have driven to Mangalore all by myself.
Hmm.
And I took the car. I went to, I guess I took NH4 and then I went to Malnad, and then from Malnad I went
Right.
to
Hmm. Hmm.
Agumbe, and then I went down to Mangalore, and then from Mangalore I took the Hassan route and came back to Bangalore. all by myself.
Wow.
So whenever I
Hmm.
felt like having something, I would just stop near a tea shop, have a tea, wave at the farmers nearby, and I was all by myself.
Hmm. Hmm.
But if you ask me if I would do that today, no, because
No.
somewhere the fear has set in.
Right.
That you cannot manage by yourself, but at that point of time it was full of adventure. You are not afraid of anything, you just go and do stuff.
That's true. I mean, hearing your story also feels like, somewhere, I mean, I don't know why is that. Is it because the responsibility sinks in, or is it because, I mean, see, from then to now, if I can, affordability is one thing. Yes, I can afford. Now, the other thing is about, can I do it? Yes, I can. But there is something, I mean, yes, rightly the fear, but apart from fear also, could there be anything? I am still figuring it out, honestly. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have answers to this question. So that's why I put it forward. I mean, while we are having a conversation, it's nice to get a perspective from the other person. And rightly, as you said, fear is obviously definitely a factor. So having done all of this, then I wanted to do my masters. So I did my masters in Manipal University. Since you mentioned Mangalore now, Manipal was a beautiful place. I mean, it continues to be beautiful in the way it is. Full energy, full crowd. 2 years of my journalism, mass communication career, learned multiple things. The very shift that happened in journalism itself was in Manipal. So until Manipal, as I told you, that I wanted to become like Barkha Dutt, Barkha Dutt, Barkha Dutt. But the moment I entered Manipal, I started learning different things. The people's person, in me was, growing faster and telling me that, I should look at something that is more interesting than the TV journalism, or even try and be a TV anchor. And that was the PR, public relations, right? PR is where, that was a point where, PR is something that took into my head. I mean, I started thinking of, yes, PR could change so many things. We are able to change a brand's perspective for people. We could even add value to a brand, or even responsible for making a brand fall down. And after that, I did my first round of work. Genesis Bus in Mastella, did multiple things from the executive role to the manager role. And till now, I handled about so many corporates to startups to small individuals, enterprises across. I've been there in the PR field. And I think now, for me, apart from PR, that's all I have. Apart from PR, I think I don't know anything much.
Okay, so while we are at it, I have a suggestion for you. From what you have described so far, you look like a rebel.
Yeah. Oh, you termed it right. I was just thinking in this forum, should I use that word? Because maybe it has some negative connotations. So I thought, like, okay, it's better not for me to use that term for myself, because I want to be like portraying myself a little better. But you said it right. Yes, I'm a rebel. I'm happy that I'm a very straightforward person, Venkat. For me, it has to be right and wrong. I mean, people talk about the gray, right? I mean, the world outside, yes. But for me, I don't know. It's all about the power of positivity, the power of positive living. That I think is something which is instilled in me from the childhood itself, right? And I feel if I can do it, I will definitely do it. It's not like by hook or crook, or I'm doing any injustice to somebody, definitely not. But if I can achieve over something with all my capabilities and abilities, I should definitely try for it, is what a rebel does.
Yeah, so being a rebel, I think you are more suited for political studies and political kind of involvement,
Mm-hmm.
somebody who is working on alongside with political movements and things like that. You can
Right.
locate a cause and you can go ahead with it, not
Oh,
necessarily align yourself with a political party, but if you have a
right.
cause that you
Mm-hmm.
strongly feel about,
Mm-hmm.
then you can probably start a movement and change the world. That's my suggestion. So let's talk a bit about what you are doing right now. apart from what you're planning to do?
Right. So, right now, I mean, after, as I told you, I have about 11 plus years of experience in PR, communication, marketing, online, offline, digital, and multiple things that I had done in the past. So I took a maternity break. I mean, blessed to be a mother, definitely, as I hands-on experience on being a mother for a toddler or a super active kid right now who is 4 years old. I took up being an independent consultant for some time, because I think the time that was allocated, I mean, that I allocated for myself to be free, I thought I was feeling really bored just sitting out there and not being able to focus on things. The kind of person, right, me, as you just mentioned some time back, being a rebel, you should do something. I think somewhere the inner energy doesn't die down, so it is asking you to do something, and we have to channelize it some way. Maybe I don't know whether I'm channelizing it completely well with whatever limited strength and abilities that I have had right now, because when you take a break in career from the kind of PR activities that you used to do earlier, and to your colleagues, to juniors who have been in the market, they obviously grow higher in the ranks, and you have grown personally at some place, right? So that is when I had taken up independent consultancy. And with this independent consultancy, we started an organization, a company called August Creatives. Happy to say that, the August Creatives is a company that takes care of complete end-to-end communications for any brand, individual, or any enterprise as such.
Okay, sounds great.
Yes, that is something, because at the heart of it, what I believe is that, it's communications, it's building your relationships stronger, whether, and obviously trying to get the strategy for a particular brand with empathy and creativity. So that is something I have always thought about. So in the same lines, rather than investing my time, because I obviously was not able to because of the mom chores that was at home, so while continuing do so, if this actually helped me be a better person, because I had taken a break and I didn't know how to come back. Because, and I've seen my other friends who have been in the IT industry. The IT industry actually has so many career courses, rather career comeback courses, they call it something, refresher course or something like that, where women sign up and join. But if you look at a PR as a profession, or you look at a content writer per se, or anything, I mean, the moment people see a gap, they take some time to say that, are you acquainted with the industry currently? Are you able to even write the way people used to write earlier? Because things have obviously become so difficult after AI has come in. So being human in AI is what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of very difficult. Even today, when you write something original, they're saying, "Have you used AI
Right.
to generate
Right.
this content?" So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's kind of very difficult. But again, see, going back to your mom's advice, learn the skills. So I was just talking to a friend recently, and he
Mhm.
said that this all this IT, all this industry, and all the
Hmm.
science and
Hmm.
engineering related
Hmm.
jobs are going to be automated. And so more and more people are going to find themselves without jobs. So he was saying only the art and humanities is going to flourish. And things like psychology, things like creative arts, all those things are going to shine.
Right.
And apart from that, the blue collar jobs, I mean, I was surprised to
Right.
listen to this that all the things that we rely on somebody like plumbing,
Hmm.
electrician, and
Like all
carpenters,
our basics, yes.
all those things, they are going to be very valuable moving forward because they cannot be automated through AI. These are the two inputs that I heard, which makes sense to me actually.
To add on to this, Venkat, I personally feel that, India is modernizing each day, right? In terms of, like, if you look at the young kids, I even like those 6 7 year olds, when they speak, they have got that American accent. You look at those international schools, everything is getting modernized, right? And if you look at the citizens of US or the other countries also, they are doing their own chores, because they can't afford a maid back then, they can't afford to, like, somebody to come and paint their house, we have our, different vendors who come and help us, sharing different offers for Diwali, Dashera, and all of that. So life is very different there. So when we are expecting our life to become like that, we will have to accept both the ways. You get it more modernized, at the same way we have to learn to do things by ourselves, which over time we have been, lazy, being lazy around, to not to do things, because we have different things to help us with eating, different things to help us with cleaning, and multiple things, as you said, right? So yes, people, it's better for people to understand the value of it before we lose it.
And the other thing that I really have thought about is to
Hmm.
learn the basics of these
Mhm.
skills, like do it yourself things.
Yeah.
Like, for
Yeah.
example, if some pipe is broken or if some electricity connection is broken, I don't want to electrocute myself, but at the same time, I should be able to
At least
check.
understand what's the cause area, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
have a multimeter, have a tester,
Mm.
and have some basic idea about what is here, how does this electric circuit works and all that, so that
Right. Right.
if there are some minor repairs, I should be able to take care of it.
I think we were taught about all of this when we were in fifth, sixth grade. How, what is an electric circuit, and then it was just like studying for it. But now actually it can be implemented to see how it happens. What can I do to be aware of these things? Then it sounded all silly, like, you should wear slippers to ensure that you don't get electrocuted and all of that. Be near a wooden surface and multiple other things, right?
Yeah, and then one of the primary skills that I can think of is drilling,
Mhm.
right? Without drilling,
Oh,
you
yeah.
won't be
Yes.
able to do
It
anything
is.
in these areas.
All the builders in Bangalore at least have built a strong walls. I mean, to drill in, it's difficult task.
Yeah, so I'm thinking along those lines, I might do something on it. So let's come back to you again. So we have spoken a lot about your past, about what you're
Right.
doing present and your future. Let's talk a bit about your hobbies and interests apart from what you have described so far. Do you have any specific things that you do that keeps you joyful?
As I told you, I'm a very joyful person. I love meeting and interacting with people. One of my most recent joyful moment was just yesterday when I conducted a pani puri party in my house. I had about 50 women coming into my house from my apartment. I had a pani puri vendor in my house, installed his pani puri basket and everything. It's some joy that I find. The house was crazy. Understand, I mean, when you talk about the voice decimals, we say the child's decimal is the highest, followed by women and then the men. So 50 women screaming, dancing, singing, and eating pani puri, enjoying their time on a Thursday evening, felt like it is weekend. Honestly, I was feeling overstressed randomly for something I don't know. Even now, when I think about it, I didn't even realize why I was feeling stressed. But the moment I met all of them, it's not that I was sharing my thought process with them. It was normal greeting. Few women who came to my house, I was meeting them for the first time. Good that they invited themselves after, a single message of mine, they thought to even come over, and it is something that they also felt, and they came over and we had a good time. Apart from that, at the apartment I stay in, I'm a part of the vendor management team, so I lead the vendor management committee here. That is something as a part time. It's an honorary post where I talk to different people, learn their stories of business. This is very interesting for me. I've been a part of the cultural committee as well, but culture in India mostly is about celebrating different festivals, doing pujas and other rituals. But when it comes to a vendor, the vendor is actually struggling to obviously be part, and why the vendor would want to promote themselves. And I've made a lot of friends, so I'm really happy. This keeps me going. When I see a smallest vendor, like, they say that I was doing something else, now I would want to start a small sari business. It makes me feel nice. Women at their 60s are starting businesses. Wow, that is really nice. I mean, I don't know how I will be when I reach 60, but when I met these ladies, they are really passionate about their work. They are just joining their social media accounts to promote themselves. Really feels good.
So All the best for continuing your work on that area. Let's talk about some societal issues that you care
Yes.
about.
So I think out of this human person in me, there is a person who is crazy about animals also. I mean, crazily in love with animals. I mean, as people adopt dogs, I always wanted to adopt elephants. I don't know when that dream of mine would come true. I mean, I can do so at multiple zoos, but adopting in a zoo and taking care of them is a very different thing. This is one of the things that, wildlife and environment is something very close to me. I was part, I mean, I continue to, but not, I've not been able to give much time now. But I was part of some of these wildlife programs earlier. There is an organization called Arosha India, which is based out of Banarghatta Road, exactly just beside the Banarghatta Botanical Park. So I was part of that, and I have worked a little with them in understanding the elephant behavior, seeing how, it motivates us, seeing how we can co-live with the elephants, because obviously there are villagers and so many things to do along with it, right? I mean, I would want to co-live with an elephant, but when the elephant eats my ragi and my husband comes home and starts beating me, what am I supposed to do? Should I not, like, hit the elephant? Should I not put like bullets on the elephant? What should I do? I mean, this is a basic concern that any villager I would talk to would say to me. Like, you are coming here and you are asking me that, Amma, help me with this. But this is what my concern is. So when they said that, it touched me somewhere. I was trying to understand how could I help them with multiple things. So during COVID, obviously we got some few funds, multiple other organizations to help them install a sewing machine program where women learned. Then we had a beehive training machine where they could, like, get the honey and they could sell it at some price, and tied up with different governmental bodies where they could come and sell directly rather than going to the market and selling. And even we tried the alcohol eradication program, which was very major. And I would definitely want to continue in this. I mean, obviously, for multiple reasons and being occupied with things, I have not been able to attend to it much, but I would want to continue to do so. And since I don't know how, since while we were talking, you talked about being rebel, and I could look at something political agenda, not relating to a political party, but some cause. I don't know what that cause would be, but this is something that, motivates me to somewhere are the animals that should be living because it was their land. But on the other side, there is a development that has to happen. That is how cities and, towns and everything has come up. It was some point in time somebody else's place. The animal that could is able to understand right now has a memory, yes, is an elephant. But what about other creatures? What about other animals? But at that point in time, I can't let go of a human being also, right? So we'll have to find a 50-50 ground. Is that possible? Not possible? There are multiple questions unanswered. We have to see how it works.
Wonderful. So fantastic. We are coming towards the end of the podcast. Do you have any questions for me, or do you want to ask anything?
No, I mean, it's definitely a good initiative. It's about telling my story my way. I have been able to, it's like an album. It's like you open your visual album and see through the years that you have gone by, been there, done that. And today, when I look back, that girl who had to score 35 was a struggle. Again, the girl who wanted to be in the Kannada class was struggle. To today, I see myself, I feel proud of myself. So thank you for taking time out and inviting me and making me feel proud of myself.
Yeah, that's the whole objective of this podcast, to share their life experiences. I'm very happy that you are able to express yourself, you found your voice, you were able to go through your past and you relived all the stuff that you had been through, which is fantastic, which is absolutely what we're looking for in the podcast. Thank you so much for appearing in the podcast and sharing your views. And I wish you all the best in your life and whatever you are aspiring to do. Please take care and bye for now.
Thank you, Venkat. Thank you.
That was a great podcast with Nandini. Please subscribe to this channel and follow it for more awesome podcasts. Opinions expressed by the guests in this podcast are their own. The host or the sponsors of the podcast do not condone the opinions expressed by the guests or the actions arising out of those opinions. Any decisions or actions that the listeners might take as a result of listening to this podcast must be based on their own judgment and will be at their own risk. The podcast host or their sponsors will not be held responsible for the consequences of any actions and or decisions taken as a result of any content in this podcast.